The first weekend of the Call of Duty Modern Warfare beta has now concluded. I'd like to share my initial feelings about the game right now. Hello and welcome. I'm Amedeo602, and if this is your first time on the channel and you want to improve at Call of Duty, start now by subscribing and ringing the notification bell so you don't miss out on tips, tricks, and tactics to help make you a better player. I'm going to go over today's video in 3 different sections. First, we're going to talk about the things that were good about the beta. Then we're going to talk about the bad things that I didn't particularly care for. And then we're going to go over a few very ugly things that could ruin the game. Let's start off with the good things. These are the things that I like the most about the game. First off, the audio was absolutely incredible. Now, I've been playing Blackout ever since it came out last October, and I have always had trouble with audio in Blackout, where I hear my footsteps too loud, I don't hear enemy footsteps, I hear footsteps, but they're my teammates, and I have so much trouble with the audio in Blackout, it's not even funny. So I really do appreciate the audio. I think it's already far better than what we have in Blackout. One tip that I want to give you right now is if you don't have a headset, get one, or at least try to get one. Now maybe you can't afford one, or maybe for whatever technical reason you can't hook it up. Well, hi dog. I've got a dog here. Hey there, I'm a dog. I like headsets too. Run treat. Run treat. Good boy. Good boy. All right. There you go. Let Daddy do his commentary. Oh, we've got another dog. Now this is a new dog. You people on the channel haven't seen this dog yet? This is Simba. Say hi, Simba. Hi, I'm Simba, and I'm only 5 months old. Here, Simba, you want a treat? Here you go. Here you go, buddy. So what was I talking about again? Oh yeah, use a headset if you can. And I prefer to use the Headset 1 pre-made setting. Call of Duty was built on this foundation where you go on these really long streaks and you get these fantastic rewards for doing that. And these rewards really do need to put in good work. And in the last few years, we've had some very underwhelming streaks, to say the least. So the streaks are back. I think it's going to be a great year for going on long kill streaks, as long as we can get some of the things in the bad and ugly section under control first. I did manage to call in a VTOL warship. Now mine, I'm still working on placement on the map. But when my enemies called them in on my teammates, oh my goodness, they were killing left and right. All sorts of... Okay, here, he wants... Here, there are no treats. There are none. The treats are all gone. See? Everyone say, the treats are gone. Sorry, puppy. Oh, yes, the treats are gone. Oh, boy. Another thing I really liked was the graphic fidelity of the maps. The textures look good, and really this is a huge step forward for the community in terms of graphics in Call of Duty, so I think that's a good thing. But this is a really good transition into the second part of the video, which the things that I didn't like so much. I'm going to call them bad just so that we can get good, bad, and ugly. But these are things that I personally didn't care for very much, and I would like to see improved for the full release of the game. But they probably aren't going to stop a whole lot of people from enjoying the game. First off, we've got map design. You say map design? Map design. Map design. We need to work on our map design. So we've got our map design, and there's just too much going on in the maps, guys. That's my opinion. You don't have to agree with me. That's my opinion. There are too many windows, too many places to get shot, too many different directions. It's actually a lot like people were saying in Call of Duty Ghosts, which I had no problem with the map design in that game. I thought the map design was great in COD Ghosts. But in this game, I feel like there are just too many dark corners. And the lighting, let's talk about that. Now, for my monitor, I use a BenQ. And BenQ, you may or may not already know, has this feature called a black equalizer. And the way the black equalizer works is it tries to take those very dark corners and kind of turn up the brightness on them. And so what you get is in a very, very dark corner, you can see enemies better. Even with my black equalizer set to the max, I had trouble seeing people on numerous occasions throughout the beta. I'm here to talk about the lighting on the maps. Hello, guys. And I think that the lighting on the maps really could be improved. We need to illuminate some of these really dark corners just so people don't have places to hide and places to camp. Another problem that I had with the maps is the doorways. I don't understand. This reminds me again of COD Ghosts, where a few years ago, Infinity Ward during, I think it was maybe the campaign reveal or something, they made this big deal about the fish swim away from you. Well, the fish swim away from you, so what? Big deal. In this reveal, they made this big deal about doors. Okay, wonderful. You can open and close doors, and you can peek through doors. Well, guess what? If I peek through a door, somebody's going to shoot me through the door, I'm dead. If I open the door, somebody's going to hear the door, so I'm dead. If I close the door, somebody's going to see the door closed, so then they're going to shoot through the door, and I'm dead. I don't like the doors. I don't think they're going to get taken out of the game, but we could at least make them a little bit quieter. I would just like to see the doors volume toned down a little bit. And some of you might recognize Gray Fox on here. Let me tell you a little story about Gray Fox. Now, Gray Fox, he's a good guy, but he's got a problem with his booty, okay? Gray Fox's booty, and I don't mind telling you this, Gray Fox, don't hate me for this, buddy. Gray Fox's booty has this effect where anytime he goes near a door, he just, whoa, right into the door. He just goes, whoa! And Gray Fox's big booty Judy is running into all these doors left and right. And you don't want to follow Gray Fox down a narrow hallway because you just hear clong, 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 clong. You just, all these doors are flying every which direction. I'd really like for him to just turn down the volume on the doors. That would be great. Another thing that I'd really like to see, I'd like to see it change too. We need to improve this, guys. Come on, Infinity Ward. Please listen to Daddy. Look up there. Look at the camera. Hi, camera. Hi, viewers. Don't forget to subscribe, like the video. If you don't like the video, then you hate puppies. I have time every time I die in this game to go to the local animal shelter, fill out the paperwork, make the payments, visit all the puppies, and find 5 different puppies for me. Okay, that's not exactly true, but you get my point here. And that's the respawn delay timer has no place in Call of Duty, in Team Deathmatch, in Domination, in any of the respawn games. Team Deathmatch? Do we really need a respawn delay in Team Deathmatch? No, we do not. Say no. Say no. No, we do not. Next on my list, we have camping. There were way too many people just sitting in corners in this game. I think if we work on the lighting, I think that if we decrease the sprint out timer, which I guess we can talk about that too. Sprint out times are a little slow. Maybe we'll see some attachments that'll mitigate some of that. I'm not sure yet. They feel a little slow. I think we need to increase the overall pace of the game. So make the game go a little faster. Not this, not crazy fast. Just if we're here right now, I'd like to see here. Just bump up the speed of the game a little bit. Slight tweaks to things like get rid of the respawn timer, illuminate the corners, decrease the sprint out times, things like that I think could go a long way. Bring the mini-map back. That's going to be in the ugly section. Don't worry, I'm not going to forget about the mini-map. We got to talk about the mini-map, okay? We are talking about the mini-map today, son. Okay, what else do we have? The level cap was a little bit too low. Now, one of the good things of the game is I feel like just about everything has a counter, so that's a good thing. I may have forgotten to mention that in the good section. I apologize for that. My mistake. I'm a little distracted here with dogs and checking my notes and doing that old man stuff. I will say that some of the counter perks are some of the best perks to use. EOD, which EOD decreases your damage from explosives, super important. And Battle Hardened, which, let's talk about the tacticals since I talked about Battle Hardened. Even with Battle Hardened, the tacticals are way too strong. I mean, you get flashbanged, you might as well put your controller down and go adopt a dog, just like you do with your respawn delay, because it takes so long to get the flashbang worn off. Anytime you have the scoreboard up, and by the way, the scoreboard, let's talk about the scoreboard. Why are we not showing kills and deaths on every single scoreboard, Infinity Ward? Can you please explain that to me? Now, I get you don't want to be depressed if you're going 2 for 20, but some of us like to see our kills and our deaths, and there's plenty of room on the screen to show both, so why not just show everything in the scoreboard? Just a thought. In domination, it should show captures, defends. I would actually like to see a separate column for B flag captures, because so many times you get people with like 5 captures, but they're all on the A and the C flags because they die and the spawns get flipped. The spawns we need to talk about. The spawns are coming later. But the guys only have captures for the home flags, and the home flags don't mean that much. I would like to see B flag drawn out separately in the captures, and maybe even the defense as well. Anytime you have the scoreboard up, I was talking about the scoreboard. I almost forgot. Oh, you let me forget. I'm not going to let you forget. No. So anytime you bring up the scoreboard and you push square, it takes you to like the PSN menu for some reason. And I would like to see this go away. This doesn't bother me, but Gray Fox with his big booty, he sometimes accidentally does this, and he was bringing up the menu all the time. And I'm like, why do you keep doing that? So big problem for him, big problem for a lot of players, I'm sure. Personally, didn't affect me, but only a few times. But it's completely unnecessary. So I'd like to see changes to the scoreboard. I'd like to see kills and deaths on every single scoreboard, objective captures, objective defends and domination, B flag called out separately. There's a ton of space on the screen, so just fill it up. Give me numbers. I'm a nerd. I like numbers. Couple things that would be game breaking, except I'm pretty sure they've already, I'm pretty sure Infinity Ward's already come out and said that these will absolutely be fixed. I'm keeping my eye out for them. Parties having to disband after almost every game. That's game breaking. That's got to go. That's absolutely not going to work. I thought I'd throw it into this video because I saw an awful lot of that, and it was almost every single game we'd have to quit and go back in and join someone else, and at least you can join other players most of the time. I personally also had problems playing alone on Sunday of the beta last week. I could play just fine if I joined someone else's party, but if I tried to play solo, it would just kick me back out. I don't know what was going on with that. That's got to be fixed. And speaking of game-breaking and ugly things, it is time for our third and final section today. The ugly. And I really only have 2.5, maybe 3. I guess I have 2 things to say, and one of them is kind of a segue into a third thing, so maybe it's 2, maybe it's 3. I don't know. Leave a comment down below. Let me know if you think this counts as 2 or 3 things. First thing, minimap. Thank you very much, Infinity Ward. We really appreciate when you brought back the minimap. I don't understand why it was taken away in the first place. I do not agree with that design decision at all. I think a minimap should be in core Call of Duty in every game mode as it has been since Call of Duty 4. Period. I appreciate the compromise. Having a minimap without showing red dots for enemy fire is, I guess, an okay-ish compromise. It's not my ideal. I know a lot of people aren't happy with it. We have tons of Twitter polls out there where we ask, hey, do you want a minimap, yes or no? Pretty consistently, we get about 80% yes and about 20% no, although that does vary from poll to poll, of course, as you would expect. But roughly speaking, you have about 4 people that want the minimap for every 1 that says take it away. Another thing, while I'm doing a feedback video, I'd like to be able to see player counts, please. Every game mode, I'd actually like to see cross-platform. I'd like to see the total number of players, not just the players on my platform. That would be a wonderful indicator of the game's health and the quality of connections that you can expect. And that's item number 2 on my list here. Connections. I had absolutely miserable connections most of the weekend. The first day or 2, the connections were okay, and down in the gameplay down below, you might notice that I've switched over to some gunfight alpha gameplay, and that's simply because I didn't have beta gameplay that you guys would want to watch. I mean, if you want to watch me dying over and over and over again, I can make gameplay like that all day long, and not even reverse boosting dying, just dying around corners, dying in one shot. It takes me 2, 3, 4, 5 shots to kill people, and they kill me in 1, sometimes 2. And so I feel like the connections just weren't very good. And that brings up the 2.5, maybe the third point, and this is probably the biggest biggest item on my list today, and I know a lot of people aren't going to want to hear this, I would like to know 100% beyond the shadow of a doubt, to what degree do we have skill-based matchmaking in this game? Now, we have a YouTuber named Sour who's put together this anecdotal evidence where he's reverse boosted himself for, I think it was 5 games, and then he played several games where he had an amazing lobby. And by amazing lobby, I don't necessarily mean an amazing connection. I just mean he's got one of those lobbies where the enemies aren't shooting him back. And I can never seem to find these lobbies. And if the players are in a protected bracket, which is what Drifter has come out and said in a sort of a pseudo response video, I'm okay with that. If we want to have, as Drifter calls it, a potato bracket, that's fine. The new players need a place to go to learn the game. But kind of like Exclusive Ace says, we need to get them back into the general population because we don't want just to be matched against players of our own skill. Because a lobby full of Amedios playing against each other is not fun for any of the Amedios. And I think a lot of you probably feel the same way about that. Let me know in the comments below, just a simple yes or no. Do you want to see heavy skill-based matchmaking? Now, of course, we have some degree of skill-based matchmaking, and we've seen time and again, year after year, that does exist. The question is to what extent. And I put this under the ugly category because, personally, I am adamantly opposed to skill-based matchmaking, except, of course, in ranked or league play. It has a definite place there, and it makes sense there. But in casual play, there are games where I want to just mess around. I just want to use a combat knife, or a crossbow, or go for a gun challenge, or whatever the case may be. Maybe I'm just trying to chill with a couple of friends and maybe even get a nuclear or whatever. But I'm not going to get a nuclear playing against a lobby of people who are just as good as me. Because the odds of getting, 30 kills in a row? If everyone's as good as you, every gunfight's a 50-50 shot. So you're talking 0.5 to the 30th power, which is this tiny, tiny probability of winning 30 gunfights in a row that are fair. So you're just not going to pull off nuclears against people that are your skill level. It's just not going to happen. And that's a great feeling if you've ever had a chem strike or a Moab or just the nuclear medal or whatever the, I don't remember whatever they were called in Infinite Warfare. I think I only ever got like one of those. But I would like to see skill-based matchmaking go away. Team balancing, same thing. 12 people, best connection you can get in a lobby. 6 random people here, 6 random people there. That should be the matchmaking algorithm. And I just want to know, Infinity Ward, to what extent are we doing skill-based matchmaking? If it's strong, then I think you're going to have a lot of blowback from the community, myself included, and we're going to ask you to tone it down. Absolutely. If it's weak, then you might not get the new players to stick around long enough, so you might have to turn it up a little bit. But I would just like to see some sort of a display of an ELO level or whatever the brackets are. If the bracket is score per minute or win-loss ratio or kill-death ratio or whatever, I would just like to see that bracket just to see what level I'm playing at and to see what kind of lobbies I can expect to be in. Just communicate with us. Tell us, is it up here? Is it down here? And maybe even compare it to something like Infinite Warfare or Black Ops 4 or another game. You know, are we a little higher than it was in World War II? Are we a little lower? Are we about the same? Because it's there. Anyone who says we don't have skill-based matchmaking, I'm sorry, it exists. You're just fooling yourself, and maybe we're dancing around semantics. I think if there's any element of skill in the matchmaking algorithm, there is skill-based matchmaking. Now, it could be a tiny amount. It could be 1 in 1,000 lobbies is skill-based. That's fine. Just let me know when it happens so I can adjust my gameplay accordingly. All I'm asking for here is transparency and some adjustment toward not the high end. Anyway, that just about wraps up my list of the good, the bad, and the ugly, along with a few tips, tricks, and tactics. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more if you haven't already. As always, thank you very much for watching.